Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be testing out and reviewing for you all the Maybelline Master Conceal Concealer. Now this concealer retails for $8.99 US at the drugstore. It can be found in 5 different shades. I grabbed the shade medium to try out today. Some of the benefits for this concealer, straight from the website, states that it is a full coverage, high resistant concealer that is supposed to be able to camouflage any kind of imperfections, including dark circles, in order to deliver an undetectable finish. Other than that, there really isn't a whole lot as far as the description for this concealer. As far as how to use it and or how to apply it, you're supposed to be able to squeeze a small amount of the concealer onto your fingertips and then apply the concealer to the under eye area and on imperfections and then gently blend. So, per usual, I am going to be testing this concealer out with and without a color corrector to see what kind of coverage I get with and without. And I'm also going to be setting the under eye area just a little bit using some of my RCMA No Color Loose Powder. So now I'm simply going to jump off camera, apply foundation onto my entire face, and I'm also going to be color correcting the right under eye area before coming back and applying some of this concealer. Okay, so now I am back with foundation on and color corrector underneath the right side here. So now I'm just going to take some of this concealer. I'm going to put a little bit of it on my ring finger, and then I'm going to try to blend it out underneath the eye area just by using my ring finger at first. If I need to blend it out even further, then I'm going to grab my damp beauty blender and blend it out like that. So I'm just going to start with this. Oh wow, it's blending out really nicely. And it's giving me a really, really good amount of coverage. I just used the little bit. It was a little tiny amount. And I was able to conceal the entire under eye area without any issues. Looks pretty good. I do still see a little bit of darkness, like especially out here. So I'm going to see if you can build it. Just a tiny bit. I'm not taking much at all, just a tiny little amount in order to build up more coverage here along the outer portion of the under eye area. Oh yeah, it builds up nicely. Really like the way that looks. Now I'm going to move on to the left under eye area. Again, using a really small amount and just blending it out using my finger. So a little does go a long way with this concealer. Okay, so now I'm going to blend it out a little bit with my beauty blender. And I'm definitely not getting as much coverage on this side as I am on this one. So I'm going to add just a little bit more down here. Just a tiny bit. Just like I did the right side. I'm going to try to build up coverage down here. Okay, so now I'm going to be setting it with a little bit of my RCMA Loose Powder here. Okay, so first impression, I like it with a color corrector underneath, or with my color corrector underneath. I feel like I get a little bit better coverage this way than I do without. The concealer itself is not, it's pretty thick and it's pretty creamy. Blends out really nicely. However, I just don't feel like I'm getting full, like true full coverage, or full coverage for me underneath the left under eye area. But it looks really good. Hopefully it stays looking like this, especially on the right side. Now I'm going to zoom y'all in so that you can get a better look at the under eye area after initial application. Okay, so this is what the under eye area looks like. I'd say pretty similar as of right now. I do prefer it with the color corrector. I don't know, in person it just looks different. Right here, I'm looking at it through the camera lens, and I can see that it looks pretty similar. But in person, to me, I feel like I get better coverage on this side. but we'll see how it wears. So far, looks really good, feels really nice. It doesn't feel heavy, even though it is thick and creamy, or not too thick, but it is pretty thick and creamy. It doesn't feel heavy underneath the eyes. I've said it, feels smooth, feels light, really like it. Okay, so now I'm simply going to jump off camera once again in order to finish off the rest of my makeup, and I will be right back. Okay, so now I am back with a full face of makeup, and so far I still prefer it with a color corrector underneath. I don't know, to me it looks a little bit better, and it looks a little bit more concealed underneath the eye area with the color corrector. But we'll see how the concealer wears throughout the day. It is currently 11:37 in the morning. I am planning on wearing this concealer for an entire 8-hour day today, and I will be coming back halfway through the day in order to do a check-in, show you all some close-ups, and talk to you all a little bit about how the concealer has been wearing up to that point. So I will see you all back here in a few hours. Okay, so now I am back for my midday check-in. It is currently 3:18, well 19, just switched, 3:19 in the afternoon. So I've had this concealer on for a little under 4 hours now. Now before I talk to you all about what I think of the concealer thus far, I am going to zoom you all in so that you can get a better look underneath the eye area after almost 4 hours of wear. Okay, so this is what the concealer looks like after the 4 hours. It hasn't really settled into any of my lines on either side. I do feel, however, that it does look just a little bit dry on this side, not so much on this side. And I do feel that I'm getting better coverage over here on the color corrected side. Good coverage here, but just not as good as with a color corrector. So that is what the concealer looks like as of right now. We'll see how we finish off the day though. So I will see you all back here at the end of the night for my final thoughts. Okay, so now I am back with my final check-in. It is currently 7:46, so I've had this concealer on for a good 8 hours now. Before I jump into my overall opinion of this concealer, I am going to zoom you all in so that you can get a better look at the under eye area after 8 hours of wear. Okay, so this is what the concealer looks like underneath the eye area right now. I can tell that it did settle into my fine lines just a little bit here, and I think also a little bit on this side as well, but nothing too noticeable, so I wasn't upset about that. However, it did wear better on the right side than it did on the left. The left side just seems to have a little bit less coverage than the right, and it also looks to be a little bit more dry. So in conclusion, I feel like the concealer definitely wore better with my corrector underneath. The side that I didn't wear a color corrector on, I don't know if it's too noticeable here through camera, but here in person, I absolutely see that I'm getting a little less coverage on this side. I feel like on the right side, it is staying put, it is concealing a little bit better, and it doesn't look as dry as the left side. Overall, I feel like it's a good concealer. It definitely wears better underneath the eye area than some of my high-end concealers. So that is all for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I truly hope that you enjoyed this video review and that you found it helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on future product reviews, makeup tutorials, anything beauty. And also don't forget to follow me on all of my other social media platforms. I am All Beauty by Sarah with an H on Instagram and All Beauty by Sarah without the H on Snapchat and Twitter. As always, take care, and I will see you all in my next video. Mwah! Bye.